Hey everybody, Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's take a look at two really good Unirenko trades we had in crude oil futures today. This is our Unirenko chart, which is our primary trading chart, and you can see that during lunch, crude was just consolidating. It's kind of pushing down, up, back and forth. We set up our power lines, which is telling us that these are areas of well-defined resistance above, support below. And you can see we're just kind of channeling in between. And we were watching that, talking about it, waiting for a breakout out of that channel. We had consolidated for a while, and we were looking for a break one way or the other. We ended up breaking to the upside, which I actually liked the best because the breakout was above the cloud and above the smooth 50. MQ Momentum Trender Pro had turned blue and it started pushing higher. We pushed up, pulled back, trail stop failure. Our magenta line is our trail stop bar. If we close below that, we can exit if we want to. But when we see these, what we call trail stop failures, the next bar actually closed up instead of down. We know that often, not always, but often, these lead to continuations in the direction we're trading. So we're still on. Again, MQ Momentum Trender Pro keeping us in this trade. We're pushing higher, pushing higher. We come up here, and we're forming divergence at this point. However, another trail stop failure, and again, we know that often trail stop failures will lead to a continuation in the direction we want to trade. We push a little higher, and this time we're on divergence again, and we don't get the trail stop failure, and we exit our trade. Now, it ended up pulling back, pushing a little higher, and then breaking lower, but again, we had already made divergence twice. Trail stop feature was taking us out of this trade. But it was a really nice push up in crude. Depending on how you managed your trade, you should have gotten at least 90 ticks out of that run, which is $900 per contract. Of course, we take contracts off along the way, so we're taking targets as we go on our multiple contracts. But our runner, again, MQ Momentum Trender Pro, keeps us in this trade all the way up into here. Time goes by, the markets are crazy. As most of you know, the volatility is just insane. The ES today moved 100 plus full ES points in less than 30 minutes. I mean, that's insane volatility. The ES sometimes doesn't move 100 points in a whole week, and we did it in less than 30 minutes today. However, the energies, while they are definitely volatile, and crude makes some pretty quick and fast swings, in fact, that entire move up in crude, you can see it happened in around 10 minutes. So over $900 per contract in less than 10 minutes. So again, energies are volatile. This pushed up quickly, which actually makes it easier to stay in your trade. MQ Momentum Trender Pro keeping us in, and price just moving in our direction quickly and easily. Time went by. Again, the indexes, gold, some of the other markets just swinging wildly. And honestly, no really good setups here in crude either. Kind of chopped around, made this big push down, but not a real good setup on this. Did not catch this run down. Went into consolidation again, went up here into the cloud, broke the cloud, pulled back, and then set up our slow line zero touch continuation trade. And we know that the slow line zero touch continuation has a high probability of at least hitting our first target as we continue in the direction that we're trading. And you can see MQ Momentum had pushed down and then it pulled back. The pink line is the slow line on MQ Momentum, pulled back to the zero line. The zero line is the line that the histograms move above and below. We like these resets like this. We call them momentum resets because it gives us a higher probability of our trade accelerating in the direction we want to go. We don't want to be entering trades when we're already in the oversold area. We don't have as much room for our trade to continue in our direction. So we had a nice momentum reset right here. Slow line zero touch, We trigger into our trade, push down. It didn't just drop like a rock by any means. You can see we had some pullback. See these wicks on the unit ankle bars. That's price pulling back, but it was a nice smooth run down. Again, MQ Momentum Trender Pro keeping us in our trade. We come down here, form another trail stop failure. Again, we know that these often lead to a continuation in the direction we're trading, and it did a little bit, not much. Not all of them do. It's not like every trail stop failure is good for another 100 ticks. In this particular case, you can see that we really didn't get much more out of it. We were forming divergence again on MQ Momentum. You can see we made a lower low in price and a higher low on momentum, and MQ Momentum Trender Pro took us out of our trade. However, that was good for at least another $300 per contract, again, depending on how you manage your runners, but good for at least another $300 per contract on a nice continuation trade. So a good afternoon trading crude oil in both directions.